Today, Nintendo updated its guidelines for online play in Animal Crossing to prohibit businesses and organizations from directing players to outside sales pages, distributing coupons, and gathering player information. Additionally, they have asked businesses and organizations to, quote, please also refrain from bringing politics into the game. This announcement, of course, comes directly after the recent U.S. elections. If you remember, Joe Biden made an island with Kamala Harris, and I thought it was a pretty fun little marketing thing.
Awesome.
But Emma, what do you make of this timing that this happened after this?
Well, as far as the timing goes, I think that this is one of the only times in the year 2020 wherein you could say, you know what? We're not gonna take a political stand and not have people immediately just completely lose their minds over it. The other thing that's really important to bear in mind here is the fact that this is very specifically a request for businesses and brands, not individuals. I think a lot of people, their initial reaction to this is, Nintendo, you're limiting my freedom of expression, which that's some of the fun of Animal Crossing, is the fact that it is a sandbox game. Like, you customize your island, you can make custom clothes and prints and things that you can put all over the ground and your walls. All of that you can still do. And if you personally, an individual, want to have some sort of political expression, they're not saying don't do that. Once again, this is very specifically saying, hey brands, hey businesses, please stop doing politics and advertising within our game. Something that I think Nintendo did not anticipate becoming a big part of Animal Crossing because, when Animal Crossing was being developed, they didn't know that that was going to be one of the primary ways that we were able to interact with other humans.
Sure. Because of the pandemic, because of the closed down. Yeah. That makes sense. But for me, I think that it just feels like they created a sandbox that's supposed to be open world, that's supposed to be for expression.
Open island.
Closing it down. Right, an open island, a sandbox. I see what you mean. And so for me, Nintendo's always kind of done this a little late, and I wish they would have learned from the past where this is an opportunity to work with those businesses and generate more revenue from a game that already exists, and you can constantly do that. The only time Nintendo really makes money off of their games feels like when they direct themselves to their clunky Nintendo store within the game client. You could have so many things where it's like, hey, if players from our game go to your website and there's ways to track that, we will get a percentage of that. I think that's something that Nintendo could do, but instead they're just like, you know what, get out of here.
But they're just anti that in general. I mean, look, they don't like anything that really makes them uncomfortable, it feels like. They shut down the biggest sort of Smash tournament because they don't want them using a netcode client that someone has made by Slippy, the Slippy client or whatever. And they also, the only time I've seen them do this is when they had Mercedes-Benzes in Mario Kart 8. I don't even remember this. You could buy a DLC where you get Benzes in there. So it just seems like it's on or off, and they don't really have a clear direction about it. So I don't know why they're probably just afraid. I don't know, actually. I can't really make a prediction, but Nintendo's always been very cagey about this kind of thing.
Yeah, and as you say, Jimmy, as far as Nintendo goes, yes, they do plenty of licensed product. Like, they have a new line that they're doing with Levi's now. They're super dope Super Mario jacket. I personally bought some stuff from the Super Mario Brothers Black Milk collection that's amazing. So again, they license out a lot, but they don't tend to license into the game with that Mercedes-Benz sort of promotion being a very strong anomaly.
Yeah, a rarity. And I think that's just a missed opportunity that they always go to.